That's what I know her from. Is
Which is so. That's why I was like, this is going to be interesting because
Yeah.
my journey is so different and diverse at this point.
I know you like as this, like I told Hilda, like this independent, super strong, super intelligent person. And so like I just like, there's this big gap from when we had coffee at some coffee shop and then we went up to the top of some, I remember all that. And we were like looking at Oakland and then all of a sudden like
we were discussing the politics of Oakland, or kind of like the state of Oakland, while like looking at it through this tall, beautiful penthouse. It was a very like picturesque movie moment. And so once upon a time, and this is so funny, like my background is all over the place. When I was 18, I started my first company and I thought I was going to be in tech for the rest of my life. I thought that my path, my journey would always be, you know, creating a more swaggier Facebook, or like being like the cool, dapper Twitter founder, or that kind of thing. I just always looked at that kind of trajectory and like looked at it and was like, hey, obviously that's going to be me. And over time, I worked in tech. I started a company. I raised money. I did the whole thing. I like did the whole GenJuice. Yeah, I started a company called GenJuice, and I was really young and really naive, and I had no idea of what that would actually entail. The sexiness of entrepreneurship like attracted me, but the actual work and what was required for me to make and build a profitable business that actually scaled in the way that I wanted it to, especially a high growth tech company, was far more than I was ready to kind of like take over and commit to. I gave it all that I had, and around when I was 22, me and my founders decided it'd be a good time for us to just kind of sell the company and try our hats at something else in our young age. And
who were the other founders? I know you were.
Yeah, so it was me and Danielle Leslie.
Danielle, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. Danielle Leslie and our designer and engineer, Gleb Colson. And they all work in the city, and they all are doing kind of some kind of iteration of what we were all doing while working on GenJuice. But the funny thing about that company was we originally started it as kind of building a pool of other like-minded young entrepreneurs. So there are a lot of 20-somethings out here hustling and trying to start companies as well. So we figured, let's pull these people together, let's pull the resources, and let's start to actually support each other and do it as a media company. And the way that we were building GenJuice, there was a lot of content, there was a lot of video content, and I was telling investors, we're building the next MTV. We're building the next cool, sexy MTV that actually has a purpose. And the hilarity of that is, I fast forward, I realized that my interest in starting that company was less to be the next Zuckerberg, but really to...
Thank God. Thank God.
I mean, I can rock the hoodie, I guess.
But I hear it too often now. It's like, let's make the next Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
I don't want that for anyone.
Why don't you make the next you? Why don't you make the better you? Absolutely. And let's actually like figure out what you can do to actually create change and make an impact, and do it in a way that is true to who you are. And one thing that I saw while running GenJuice is I kept saying, you know, let's build the next MTV, and I had no idea what that meant. But I realize now that I'm doing all this stuff in media and entertainment, that what I wanted so long ago was to change the way that we approach digital content. Like, there are, at that time, very few of us were really watching TV. Very few of us were watching like the traditional types of content. And I knew that these like short little videos, like these little pre-Vine kind of videos, were the things that really excited people. And so then I started to get more interested in entertainment, got that little thing on MTV, and I became a cast member on Real World, and I became a part of MTV.
What months was the filming?
We filmed, it was, I can't actually say exactly how long, but it was definitely like, I don't know. It was long enough for me to want to get the heck out of that house. It was like way too long. Right. We were the way that this season, or my season of The Real World was structured, was there were 7 strangers picked to live in a house. Right. So there's that.
Exactly.
But girls and guys. So there's this whole thing.
Right.
And this time the 7 strangers were halfway through with their exes. So it was.
That's what it was. I remember there's something. Remember I said there's. I can't even watch it.
Yeah.
But I know there was some twist to it.
Exactly.
That was kind of like.
So we all expected that it was just going to be the traditional real world. We go, we have a good time, we have nothing to like, no responsibilities, etc. We didn't have a job or anything like that. I was working because I was working in the city as a model, so I would leave periodically, and I didn't have a lot of camera time because of that. Because I was working, I was running my film, I was hosting like different meetup groups, I was modeling and doing some talent work, and so I was hardly ever in the house. I was in the house though when all the exes were there, and so they moved in. Actually, she had then become my girlfriend at the time. We had been exes when we were being casted, and it was just kind of like messy relationships, which was the theme of the show.
Okay.
And what happened while on MTV, which is what led to what I do now, is there was a lot of discussion about the way that I dress. Now,
The way that you dress.
The way that
What
I
is the way you
dress?
dress?
I have a bit of a range, and right now I'm kind of like, I don't know if this is as representative of how I did it in the house, but whatever. I prefer menswear. I love menswear. I've always loved kind of like, I remember being young and seeing like, what was it? I forget who it was, but there was like this older movie, and this woman was wearing a suit, and she wore it in the coolest way ever. And I was like, dude, yeah. And I love seeing androgynous women in media and fashion, even gay or not. I just really like the aesthetic. And there was kind of a discussion between me and my girlfriend at the time about the way that I dress and how she wanted me to be a little bit more girly. And the internet lost their mind.
Oh, wow. Of course they did.
Yeah, it
changed it.
Totally.
They were trying to change it.
They were very like, I think it just kind of polarized the way that they saw the conversation. They were like, you know, Arielle's a girl, so she should dress like a girl, or, you know, let her dress however she wants. It's just clothing. Like, there was a lot of perspectives. Yeah. And I read all of it too. I was scrolling through the whole thing. And I started to get a lot of emails and tweets and comments from people, and they're just kind of like, hey, I thank you so much for just being that person. Thank you for, yeah. Thank you for being open, thank you for being honest, and thank you for inspiring the way that we dress. And that led to me starting my YouTube channel that I run now, and the style series that I run, which is called Tomboyish. So every Tuesday, which looking back on it is one heck of a commitment, because I have to make a new video every single week, but I run a weekly series where I look at the closets of other successful, cool, swaggy tomboys.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's, I think one of the things that really hit hard for me is when I was coming out, there were really only two types of women that were represented, I guess, in my communities. You were either super feminine or you were super masculine, feminine, very butch. There was no in between, and I remember the like struggle I had with kind of being in between and not really knowing like what that represented. Like, will no one want to date me now? Like, how does that work? Like, darn, I really wanted to meet somebody tonight, but it's not gonna happen. So there was really kind of like this binary that existed within the communities that I found, and so I started Tomboyish to kind of show that range, to show that there are so many different kinds of ways of presenting yourself, and it really doesn't matter, and you can still be successful. You can still get a job if you want to wear jeans instead, or not jeans. You can get a job if you're wearing jeans, but you can still do that.
Yeah.
But you know, for a lot of women, it was just kind of like, do I have to wear a skirt if I want to go to an interview? And if that's not your gender expression, you want to wear like slacks and keep it cool, and you want to look hot that way, do that. And in fact, I have 2 or 3 friends that I have on my series that can show you how to do that. If you want to, if you are super feminine, but you want to like rock some like baggier jeans and you don't know how to do that, I can show you how to do that. So that's what Tomboyish is all about, and it's been awesome. Like, it's been amazing. I started everything in June, and my channel right now, it's at like 1.6 million views. I have like 30,000 subscribers. I get like 200 subscribers a day. It's just like people are really, really falling into it. And so, yeah, where I'm at right now is I launched a Kickstarter 2 weeks ago to bring the project to Europe. Because one of the things that I found, which is awesome, like I love, this is why I want to build more in digital content, because you can reach so many people.
Masses.
It's insane. Like the biggest markets or the biggest countries watching Tomboyish right now outside of the US are the UK, France, Italy, and Germany.
What
So
about
like,
Japan?
I want to actually check out. I have to look at my Asian number, my APAC
Gotta get that
numbers.
Asian love.
Yeah, actually, no.
Don't
The
forget us.
the
Come
funny
on,
thing
man.
about that, my girlfriend's half Chinese, so she would actually be really happy
okay,
about
that's
that.
what's
But also, I think somebody tweeted me and was like, okay, so after you guys do Europe, you need to come to Asia because we got you. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
cool, let's go. I'm so down. Let's do
Absolutely.
Korea. Let's do Japan. I'm just all about just really showcasing that there are so many different ways to do you. Like that's just where I'm at right now. It's just like when I was younger, I kind of felt like I had to fit a certain picture in order to be successful. And lately, I've just been kind of like doing this thing and where I'm totally okay with just presenting myself in the way that I present myself, speaking the way that I do, working on the things that I really, really love.
And you're from Vallejo.
And I'm from Vallejo.
So
like,
I gotta represent. You can't forget Vallejo.
Sean is calling me out right
I
now.
know. See, I know you from 2010 before,
Yeah.
not 2010 present.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I
You
just
know me
remember,
pre-Ari Fitz.
I don't even know what the hell Ari Fitz is.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just remember I was like, yo, I want you to present on entrepreneurship because you're just an entrepreneur to the core. And no,
It's-
I'm happy to see you still are. And,
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
happy to do it. There's
So
nothing
let's
else
get
I
to,
can
let's
do.
get to the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Why should someone donate
absolutely.
to the movement? Let's
Yeah.
just be real. Why
Yeah.
should someone donate?
The one
Or contribute,
big- yeah,
contribute.
the biggest way and the most important reason for you to contribute is because you care about people feeling good when they wake up in the morning and looking in the mirror.
Okay.
Like that's all it is. Like there are so many young women that watch this series that subscribe to my channel and they're all about thank you. Like, thank you for showcasing that it's okay for me to dress the way that I do, that it's okay for me to go out and get a job dressed the way that I do, looking the way that I do, loving the way that I do. And I feel like that story is very important. I feel like it's time that we start to show that there are other people in media, in entertainment, in tech, in whatever, who are comfortably themselves, who are unapologetically themselves. And I think that that's the history behind all of my content. It's just, let's get closer and closer to being totally okay with whoever we are when we look in that mirror. And Tomboyish does that. Tomboyish is all about, like, this is the range. Like, look at all of these young women out there who are kicking butt. And
Who are some of your heroes or mentors?
Oh, some of mine currently? Whew, boy. I'd say, and this is always, I get in trouble when I give this answer, but I'd say it's honestly my peers. Like the people who inspire me the most, the people who make me want to work harder are those that are right next to me hustling, because it's like,
Me too, by the way.
yeah,
That's
it's
the same answer.
Right.
it's so much
They
better.
know that. They know that.
Okay.
Know that, right?
It keeps you on your
Absolutely.
stuff. Like the people around me are the ones who, yeah,
Yeah.
like, you guys
That was
have it,
great.
and that's why it's
Yeah,
so
they
important to
do.
have a team
Right,
yeah,
and a
yeah.
community.
Teamwork makes the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Trademark.
is
makes
that
the dream work.
there you go.
Yeah.
We need that like a caption right there.
Have one.
No, but I like there's so many people who are like, oh, you know, like I look up to like all these other people in history and moments of time, and that's awesome. But right now, history is being made in Oakland, in Vallejo, in like Seoul, wherever, and it's just like those people who are making those things happen, given all of the pressures of today. That's what inspires me.
I mean, what would the message for tech be? Because I mean, even back then, we were trying to push a diverse tech, obviously, over
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah,
And you with being an entrepreneur, and Danielle, and those. I mean, how do you think it's transitioned? Do you think it's got better? Do you think it's still the same?
Oh, I mean, technology is advancing. There's so many, like, what I love now about the tech industry, especially because I am still in it, but I'm doing it more on YouTube and doing it more in media and entertainment. What I love about the tech industry is it's all about merit. It's all about, like, what you make, and it's less about, like, people can live behind a computer screen as long as you're contributing and making something. it's fun. And so I think right now you're starting to see a lot more diversity within tech. You're seeing a lot more people outside of the Silicon Valley, a lot of people in New York, a lot of people in Texas who are making stuff. And that's what I love. In Oakland, obviously in Oakland, who are starting to like make things. They're not making like another app to text somebody while you're like on the toilet or whatever. It's like actually relevant stuff. Like it's actually stuff that we can use.
What's the go-to social media for you?
Ooh,
like if I was like, yo, like we need 100,000 hits, what do you YouTube?
I mean, YouTube. Like right
I
now,
saw you had like 25,000.
Yeah,
26,000.
YouTube is like, I wish I understood how powerful a network YouTube was before, and like when I was just starting and getting into entrepreneurship. YouTube is a beast. It's an amazing platform, and if you really can get out there and make interesting content and kind of run your channel like it is a network, you can touch a lot of people and you can make a lot of big things happen. And as somebody who went from traditional TV, like being on a reality show and kind of being immersed within MTV, and then turning it into my own thing where I have to now produce, direct, edit, shoot, do all of that stuff.
So are you spearheading all of that?
All of it.
Okay.
So I mentioned the Kickstarter, right? I mentioned Kickstarter.
What is the 14,000?
Yeah. So
okay, what is that going to be used for? Let's just keep it real.
Absolutely.
Keep it real. Okay.
No, I will
you're
keep it so
digital,
chill.
so we keep it real. Okay.
Let's go. Like
Let's go.
Honestly, like that's the big thing.
I gotta bring the real Arielle down.
No,
that's how it is.
I can polish it up. I will polish it up until I need to take it out.
All right.
But that's the big thing.
I like that.
14K. 14K. Break it down.
It's 14K, and the big thing is, like I said, I'm shooting, editing, producing, directing, doing all of this on my own. And the big thing is, I want to make it a lot better. I don't know if we want to.
Let's just keep it real. We're in Oakland.
We got the car alarms going off. There's about to be made out of it in a minute. So 14K is to improve the way that it's shot and to actually bring on somebody else to help me edit.
There you go.
Because right now I'm producing a video, 2 videos a week, and it is really hard to do with just a one-woman show. So improving the production of it, but also to take this series to London and Paris. Because, like I said,
Does that mean physically moving there for a bit?
Oh no, just going to shoot 8 episodes while I'm there.
Got it.
Yeah. So the way that I do it is, so I shoot it every Tuesday, and twice a month you'll go into my closet and I'll give like a style guide. Like I did a back to school guide. I did like a fall lookbook. I even did a how to style your girlfriend lookbook that went live today. And so I do style guides, but I also showcase and feature other people. So I bring in like other interesting, cool tomboys, some people, and I have DJs, I have chefs, I have different kinds of cool people who, and their only thing that connects all of them is that they are unapologetically themselves. They wear whatever they want to wear, and I think that that's really cool, and it helps other young women feel comfortable if they want to rock a bow tie that day. So yeah, $14,000 to improve the series and bring on an editor, and also to bring the series to London and Paris to shoot out there. Yeah.
Dope. So if people want to check it out, you can look at the camera there, and where do they go?
Yes. So if you are interested in checking out the Kickstarter and also making a pledge or just sharing and contributing, the best way to check it out is to go to bit.ly/support Tomboyish, and
the link will be there.
The link will be right here or somewhere on the screen. And also, I guess I can give you all of my other information so you can post that as well.
Yeah, I think the link to donate is a good one to contribute. We've known each other now for about 4 years.
Way too long.
So
like a good.
The least we can do is let you come to Oakland Digital. In front of the Inspire Oakland mural that just came, a few months old there.
Nice.
And support the movement. Peace
Absolutely.
out. Oh, Instagram and all that. What's all the...
Oh, yeah. So the easiest way to find me on all of your social networks, I'm everywhere. It's Ari Fitz, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well, Tumblr, etc. So yeah, I'm around.
What's the one sentence of advice before you head out? About anything.
It's what I've been saying this whole time. The one thing I will say to everybody watching this video, old, young, whatever, be unapologetically you. Don't apologize for who you are. Just make the person that you are better, bigger, stronger, and that's it.
Dopeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, dopeness.
You guys.